Hey everyone, this is Chai Tea here with another episode of my From Scratch Ironman series. This series is basically my version of an Ironman in Albion Online with a few changes that I deemed fair. I like to call this a softcore Ironman because I can still interact with other players, but you can check out the rules of this series down in the description. If you guys are new to this channel, this is my 6th episode of my From Scratch Ironman series, and I post a progress video every week, so consider subscribing so you don't miss any of the action. In this episode, we managed to snag some pretty awesome loot, as well as also make some end goal progress, so stay tuned for that. With all that being said, it's tea time. To progress my account further, I pushed a fiber harvester level to tier 5 with some help of some learning points. I didn't want to spend the next 5 episodes trying to unlock tier 5 gathering, so I saved up my learning points for that. I did the same with the lumberjack skill as well, and I leveled both of them during this episode to tier 5 crafting as well. I jumped into the looking for group chat to find a group to play with and to do some dungeons and for some quick easy fame and some loot on the side. My goal for this is to level up my holy healer build during group play and my nature or crossbow build during solo and dungeons. My guild right now that I found a couple episodes back has gone through a lot of different changes with its alliance and stuff like that, but I want to really be active in like their ZVZ preference and everything like that, so being able to take a territory with them and leveling up my builds for that is pretty much my goal. I continue to farm, however I switched to breeding gooselings so that I can start to farm much needed food ingredients. With all this crafting and farming, however, I used a lot of my silver, so money making had needed to be done. The best way for me to do this was to do some dungeons, as I cannot flip on the markets, and I need to use most of what I gather for a lot of my crafting. You can see I had some pretty good runs making some side silver, but nowhere near big bucks. Silver isn't the most important thing for me though, because I can't buy anything off the markets, but it is helpful for island upgrades, repairs, and also crafting costs, as Thetford's crafting stations are pretty pricey. So now that I could gather tier 5.1, 2, and 3 resources, I gathered a lot of tier 0.4 cloth so that I could level up my cloth armor to tier 5 crafting. This would mean that I could craft 5.1, 5.2, and 5.3 armor sets, which would be really helpful, but leveling all these things to tier 10 was actually more challenging than I thought, so I needed to gather a lot more tier 4 cloth if I wanted to do so. With another crafting trip, I was squeezed for money, so traveling to the tier 7 black zone helped me out a bit with that. Doing this in tier 7 black zone is a little bit challenging for me as I am going in tier 4.1 gear. However, I do have the Reaver level in order to have additional damage towards tier 7 mobs, so that helped me out a bit. The last chest that I did was probably the best drop that I've ever gotten, a tier 7.1 Infernal Scythe. I didn't even know how much this was, but looking at it in the chest, it looked so juicy. All I need to do was get home safely now. So here I would have gotten killed if I came 20 seconds later than I did, because that group had just entered the area and their abilities were on cooldown. So lucky enough for me, I actually made it through the portal without someone CCing me and killing me. Later, I knew most people weren't online, so I went searching for an aspect just to level up my fiber gathering more, and surprisingly I actually found one. Super excited. I tried to solo it with my nature staff build, but unfortunately I was interrupted by a member of June, which used to be in our alliance, so they ended up stealing it from me, which was kind of a sad day, but oh well, we'll look for a different one. If you guys made it all the way through, thank you guys for watching, and leave me a comment and like if you enjoyed it. I appreciate any feedback you guys have, and if you'd like to see more of these videos, please consider subscribing as I make these videos weekly. Have a good one, I'll catch you on the next tea party.